Hey there folks, welcome to this video, and here I'm going to be talking about Hayden Paddon. In light of the cancellation of Wales Rally GB yesterday, and also in light of the cancellations of Rally Finland and New Zealand last week, he shared last night the fact that he was signed with Hyundai to do 4 rallies this season in this sort of B-team Hyundai, with this kind of Kiwi livery to an i20, which, well, I'll put a link to his tweets in the description section for you to check out. It looks amazing. I mean, you've probably seen it on the thumbnail as well. Paddon confirmed that he'd been lined up to do 4 rounds: Portugal, Sardinia, Finland and New Zealand, and of course 3 of them are now outright cancelled. Sardinia is still postponed, but looking quite unlikely that it's going to run. I hope that he's going to be able to be back for 2021, at the very least for Rally New Zealand 2021, and it's promising to have seen that Hyundai were working with him, because he'd said that he would only look at engaging through someone like Hyundai because, of course, of his EV project, which he's working with Hyundai on. But it's a massive shame, because this confirms that the Hyundai B team idea was actually there. The idea, and you can check out another video that I did, also in the description section down below, was that drivers such as Paddon, such as Craig Breen, and most importantly Pierre-Louis would be able to do a mixed campaign in the WRC in this kind of satellite Hyundai team. Now, satellite teams we haven't seen in the sport for quite some time. I mean, you'd have to go way back before 2017 spec to be able to find this kind of satellite team that we're talking about. I guess VW Motorsport 2, where Andreas Mikkelsen was in the second one, and also Hyundai's kind of third car they had for Paddon, Neville and Sordo at different points in, say, 15 and 16 were kind of the case. But of course, satellite teams, to the extent that we're talking about here, were last kind of the case when M Sport still had manufacturer Ford backing with the early Fiesta, circa 2011-2012. And of course, Citroën had its own junior team around the time as well. It's a shame because, yeah, like I said, Lube, WRC2 champion last year, was going to be doing about half the season in one of these i20s, or so it was rumoured. And of course, if Paddon was doing 4 and Lube was doing 7, and this was supposed to be starting in Portugal, you could easily have seen 2 cars potentially in this B team. And then for the other 3 rounds that Paddon wasn't going to do, you could have, say, Craig Breen, who of course has been with the main Hyundai squad this year. You could also have an Andreas Mikkelsen, who I believe is still working with Hyundai to some degree. I mean, he did a tyre test at the end of last season. It's a massive shame, because it makes me wonder what would have happened if the WRC season went the way it was going to. Like, we would have had Portugal, we would have just had Sardinia as well. So we would have had 2 rallies in a row where Hayden Paddon was competing in a World Rally car. We haven't seen him in a World Rally car since, 2018 now. I was lucky to be able to meet him last year when he was at World Rally GB, and he's just such a kind and gentle fella. I mean, the same could be said of pretty much anybody in the service park, but I mean, before I got to go up and talk to Hayden, he was talking to people from, I can't remember if they were from Australia or New Zealand, but I knew they said they'd flown around the world to get there as well to watch him at GB, and they said they were going to see him in Australia. I think they said that they were living in Australia because they said they were flying across to New Zealand to watch him compete earlier in the season. But this dude's got a global following of people that will follow him around the world to events, and he's just such a gentle character. it's gutting because, like, there are so many drivers are losing out from this, and Paddon is but one. But it basically confirms that this BT route that we had, where Hyundai were going to be running 5 cars, which probably would have made up half the WRC field at some events, was very much true. I hope we'll see something like that in the future. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye bye for now.